My 39F fiance, 36 meters, made out with a 19F at a convention. Basically just what the title says. We've been together for over a decade. Got engaged right before COVID. He went to a convention last week, and while he could have paid for me to go, he said he wanted to feel free to network and such. Honestly, I didn't have a big problem with it. He's gone to conventions before without any issue, and I visited my family for a couple weeks by myself last month. He returned from the trip and told me he'd gone to a party and gotten a little drunk, high, and made out with this friend of a mutual friend of ours. This friend also apparently convinced him to tell me what happened and to delete the girl's phone number from his phone. He said he would have eventually told me, but probably not for a while. Didn't exactly make me feel better. He says he feels terrible and that it doesn't say much good about him. I can't really talk to any of my friends or family about it because, well, it's the kind of situation that can permanently color someone's opinion. I'm just not sure how to proceed. I would never put myself in that kind of situation, and I do feel disrespected. However, we've been together a long time. Is it worth throwing our whole relationship away? The mutual friend convinced him to tell you. So he was put on the spot to tell you something. Is this the truth? A watered down, minimal version of events? How much more will come out as you press him or ask elsewhere? Is the situation bad, or might it be much worse? Okay, 10-year relationship. He hasn't wanted to take the next step forward despite a decade passing. And now he is making out with teenagers after explicitly making sure you weren't with him on a trip away. Looking at this from a third-party standpoint, would you say this looks like a relationship that seems like it's a recipe for success? The chance that it stopped at making out is so slim. Please dump this man. You are a 39F who has been going with the same guy since you were a 29F. Engaged when you were a 36F. But still not married. Do you think you are being strung along here by your fiance? Let me guess. Still no date set? Now he is making out with 19Fs. Strung along. You're not throwing the relationship away, he already did that. That's a deal breaker. I'm so sorry this was done to you. You did not deserve to be treated like that. This sounds really painful and stressful. Is it worth throwing our whole relationship away? That's a question only you can answer. That being said, I personally feel as if there are two pressing issues here. One is that he obviously violated your trust and boundaries, and disrespected you in a major way. Another is that he engaged sexually with a teenager. I personally find that alarming. Her brain is still developing and your fiancé is nearing 40. Again, personal opinion. I'm glad you're seeking support here, even though it's hard to talk to your family and friends about it. I guess this is what I would offer. Do you feel that you could reliably move forward with him knowing he has done this? And even if he never cheats on you again, do you see yourself being able to remain in a relationship where you may potentially be triggered by reminders of his cheating, and may have to deal with some anxiety about possible future cheating for some time? As someone who was cheated on repeatedly by the person I plan to marry, I wholly empathize with you. I wish you all the best of luck no matter what you decide. Better to throw the relationship away now than to stick it out a few more years. Break up then, and wish you'd done it sooner. You can't get back the years that have already happened, but you can take control of the years that are coming. He cheated on you with a teenager. Yuck. It's absolutely worth throwing your relationship away. Because something is wrong with a nearly 40-year-old man to cheat. And to cheat with a 19-year-old girl. Not a woman. Girl. There's something obviously wrong with this dude. I think he planned it, and that was the kind of networking he was talking about. It's weird that he wouldn't take you because he wanted to feel free to network, but then ends up making out with another woman. If that wasn't bad enough, he saved her phone number. And it took his friend telling him to delete it for him to do that? And he wasn't going to tell you for a while? You feel disrespected because that's what he did. The problem is, how can you trust him going forward? And if you let this slide, will he think he can just get away with these types of things in the future? I don't think being together for a long time is a good reason to stay with anyone. He sure didn't care too much about that when he was with the other girl. It would absolutely be a deal breaker for me. He cheated on you with a teenager, and openly was going to hide it from you. A drunken mistake is no mistake. This wasn't an accident. He chose to go alone because he wanted to network. He chose to go to a party and get intoxicated. He chose to spend time with a teenager, almost 2 decades his junior. He chose to save her number. He chose to make out with her. The only thing he didn't choose to do was come clean to you about his deliberate infidelity. He only told you because his friend would have told you if he didn't. He doesn't feel terrible because he cheated on you. He feels terrible that you had to find out this time. This should be a deal breaker. He was messing around with another woman and you hesitant to walk away? You realize that drinking, drugs are not an excuse, right? The idea of investment in a relationship is fool's gold. Worth nothing. He obviously doesn't value the relationship like you do. Ask yourself what you recommend to your best friend if this occurred. If you accept his infidelity, you send the signal that it is okay for him to do so and he will do it to you again. The only way he can't is if you hit the road. Don't fall prey to the sunk cost fallacy. Time shouldn't be what keeps you together. It wasn't enough for him either. Apparently. If you're willing to give him more chances because of that, even if he says he feels bad about it now, this will color what he can get away with and use excuses for. Decide if that's what you're willing to do. It's very easy to not cheat. Bin him. I think a piece that's getting missed here is just how premeditated this was. He's playing it off like a momentary drunken lapse in judgment. That's intentional. In reality, by not bringing you and doing his whole networking spiel, he spun up a situation in which cheating on you was just an inevitable. This is something many cheaters do to shirk responsibility and minimize, justify their actions. And it's a massive indicator that he will do it again. I wouldn't be calling him my fiance for another second. If you can't trust him while engaged, you certainly won't be able to trust him while married. Time does not equal success. The worst thing you can do with your life is spend it with the wrong human being. You deserve respect. I never quite understood the whole idea of having close friends that you can talk to about things. But then when something important comes up where you need advice, you can't mention it because it can color their opinion. Like, what's the point of friends if you have to ask strangers for advice? Color be damned emo. Get some advice from people who care about you. I feel like the worry about coloring friends' opinion is really saying, I know what they're going to tell me, but I'm not going to follow that advice. Maybe get a therapist instead? Good luck. 4-leaf clover. Lies are like cockroaches. For every one you discover, there are many more that are hidden. This isn't his first rodeo. You just need to ask yourself if you really want to stick around for that or move on with your life. You should strongly consider breaking it off and finding someone that won't cheat on you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.